Hello everyone, and welcome to my video. In this video we're gonna continue talking about the emotional intelligence. We already discussed in the first part the self-awareness. In this video we're gonna cover the self-regulation and the empathy. Let's start with the self-regulation, which I think is a very important skill. Learning it prevents and solves a lot of our problems. To have a better self-regulation, there are 5 steps to practice and to be aware of. First one is to recognize our emotions. The second is to pause and wait, and then to reframe the situation. And then the fourth step is to choose our response, and finally to reflect. So, the first one, to recognize. We have to be aware of those scenarios and patterns leading us to a certain emotion. This allows us to be prepared and be aware of the situations we are getting into. The second step is to pause and wait, to have a delayed response, to be mindful and not to complicate things by thinking overly about the incident that happened. To just relax, breathe deeply, and practice delayed response. This helps to build resistance to the impulsivity, which often leads to bad reactions and thus problems. The third step is to reframe the situation, to try to have a cognitive restructuring of this situation through imagining it from a third person perspective. This allows us to understand what happened from more than one point of view, how the other person was thinking or feeling, or why he did or said what he or she did or said. The fifth point is to choose our response. Now that we are relaxed and mindfully thought about this scenario, we can choose our response after thinking about it, without reacting suddenly with impulsivity. And the fifth point is to reflect. helps us to improve our next confrontation or our next similar situations, to take better strategies and have better decisions. That's about it for the self-regulation. Let's talk about the empathy. The empathy is similar to self-awareness, but applied to the emotions of the other person. It requires us to listen carefully, to not be distracted, and to have eye contact, to avoid biases and assumptions, and not to rush for fixes, advice, or criticism, and to recognize and to be able to name their emotions precisely, to pay attention for the tone, posture, and body language. We also should try to put ourselves in their shoes, to imagine how our reaction would be, our feelings would be in their situation and in the context of their culture, their values, and life experience. Also, it's very important to validate their feelings, to state that you understand why they would feel that way. This validation is not just about understanding and recognizing, it's also an emotional support, which is a very important part of the empathy. And also to follow up. So in the next time you meet, you ask them how they are feeling, if they are better, and if they want someone to talk to. So that would be it for the empathy and for this video. The next video will cover the last part of the emotional intelligence, which is social skills. Thank you for watching and have a good one.